So albums get grouped totally at random. We're looking at Group 196 today, a really diverse bunch.
Group 196.
Got it. And then, within that group, they get ranked. Best to worst.
Ah, okay. And the stakes?
Pretty high. Top 2 albums go on to round 2. Bottom 2, they're out. Eliminated from the quest entirely.
Wow, okay. Brutal.
It is. And what makes it interesting for us, and for you listening, is the author's style. It's this mix,
Yeah.
really sharp humor, but also deep musical knowledge. And yeah, some personal feelings in there too.
So it gives you different ways to think about what makes an album good. Like, is it the production, the songs themselves, how it makes you feel?
Exactly. It forces you to weigh those different things. Longevity versus polish, atmosphere versus, technical skill.
And this particular group, 196, sounds like a real clash of styles. You mentioned diverse.
Oh, wildly diverse. You've got modern pop bumping up against, late-stage instrumental rock giants. Then throw in some live nostalgia in a disco compilation.
It sounds almost designed to be awkward.
Right. It feels like it could be rigged for the big names, but the criteria seem to shift depending on the comparison. Anytime Pink Floyd is in the same group as a 70s disco mix, well, it's properly random.
So who are the contenders? Let's list them out for Group 196.
Okay, yeah. Good idea. So fighting it out in Group 196, we have
Number 1.
Number 1 from Pink Floyd, the late career instrumental album, The Endless River. Got a source from their archives.
Okay, Floyd, big hitter. Number 2.
Number 2, bring in the classic rock vibes and, let's face it, killer tunes, Live at Knebworth by the Beach Boys.
Beach Boys Live. Interesting. Third.
Third, the modern pop contender, polished, commercial, no sound without silence from the script.
The script, okay. And the final one.
And the wild card, number 4, it's a compilation, 70s disco, various artists.
Wow. Floyd, Beach Boys, the script, and a disco comp. That is quite a lineup.
Told you. A proper battle.
Okay, so where do we start? The winner.
Let's start at the top. The album that actually ranks number 1 in this group. And interestingly, it was the one the author was most suspicious of going in.
Which was?
Pink Floyd's The Endless River.
Ah, right. The archive album. Why the suspicion?
Well, you know how it is with these posthumous or vault releases, there's always that nagging doubt, isn't there?
Yeah.
The author, Greensterox, was definitely cynical, worried it might be less of a real album and more of a
Cash grab, like leftovers.
Exactly. The phrase used was a music industry con job. The fear was it was just, offcuts from the Division Bell sessions, stuff that wasn't quite good enough the first time around.
Right. Material that got shelved for a reason. That makes sense.
And that cynicism got a boost from something really obvious. The title.
The Endless River. What about it?
The author points out it's not even an original title. It's lifted, like stolen straight from the lyrics of the very last track on the Division Bell, the song High Hopes.
Oh, seriously? Wow. Okay, yeah, that doesn't exactly scream new creative statement, does it? Not really. It kind of signals leaning heavily on the past, maybe suggesting the music inside is just recycled ideas, too. It sets expectations pretty low for originality.
So the author went in expecting maybe polished B-sides at best.
Pretty much. But, and this is the crucial part, after listening, really listening, like maybe 10 times, which Greensterox apparently does.
At times, wow.
Dedication.
Right. After that deep listen, there was a complete turnaround, a big critical pivot.
So it wasn't just offcuts, it surprised them.
It totally subverted those low expectations. That's what's fascinating here. The term offcuts just felt wrong, too dismissive.
So what was it then, if not offcuts?
Well, the description was more like captured musical passages, ideas that maybe didn't fit the flow or theme of earlier albums, but were complete in themselves, and importantly, really well played.
And the quality was there, despite being older material.
Undeniably. I mean, it's Gilmour, right? Mason.
Yeah.
The musicianship is there.
Yeah.
And even though a lot of the album is made up of these shorter bits, like sub-2-minute snippets.
It still flowed. That sounds tricky to pull off.
Yeah, but apparently it did. The review said it flowed surprisingly well as a whole listening experience. It had a coherence, an atmosphere.
Atmosphere. That's a big Pink Floyd word.
Exactly. And the review picked up on specific echoes of their classic sound, like the track, It's What We Do.
Yeah.
That one was singled out for having this really dreamy, expansive, wish you were here kind of vibe.
Okay, I can picture that. Those big, spacious synth pads, Gilmour's sustained guitar.
Precisely. And another track, Anacina, got an even bigger comparison.
Don't tell me. Dark Side.
You got it. A Dark Side of the Moon vibe, which, is massive praise. That track was called one of the best on the album.
So even though it's technically old material, the core Floydian elements, the magic, was still present in those recordings. Wright's keys, Gilmour's phrasing.
It seems so. It suggests that stuff was just too good to be dismissed as filler, even if it didn't fit perfectly back then.
But it wasn't all perfect, right? The review wasn't just gushing.
No, definitely not. It kept its critical balance. There was one track pointed out as the weak link, Talkin' Hawkin'.
Ah, the one that revisits Keep Talking with Stephen Hawking's voice.
That's the one. And the verdict there kind of confirmed the initial fears, in a way.
How so? Did it break the mood?
A bit. It was described as just okay, but the killer comment was that the reviewer instantly understood why it was dropped from the division bell.
Why?
Because, quote, it offers nothing beyond that brilliant track. It felt redundant, like a rehash.
So that track was basically an offcut that maybe should have stayed cut.
Pretty much. It was the one piece that really felt like leftover derivative material. It sort of proved the initial cynicism wasn't totally unfounded. Some of it was rejected for good reason.
Okay, so summing up The Endless River, mostly instrumental, built from old sessions, includes at least one track that feels like filler. Yet, it flows well, captures that classic Floyd atmosphere, and ends up
ranked number 1 in the group. The final verdict was a strong instrumental album in its own right and a good listen. But, and this is a big but for the Quest, not a proper Floyd album.
Not proper, but still number 1.
That's really interesting. It says a lot about atmosphere and coherence, maybe trumping traditional song structure sometimes.
Exactly. Mood over conventional completeness. A huge insight right there.
Okay, monumental stuff. Let's pivot now. From that atmospheric, almost accidental success to the fight for the second qualifying spot, this was between the Script and the Beach Boys.
Yeah, and talk about a contrast. Modern, super polished pop versus raw, classic, live nostalgia.
This is where it gets really juicy, doesn't it? Production versus the song itself.
It's a direct comparison, which matters more in the quest for the best album. Let's start with the Script. Their fourth album, No Sound Without Silence.
Right. And the review noted a big change from their previous album.
Yeah, album 3 apparently had quite a bit of rapping, gave them an edge. This one, not so much. The review says it's overloaded with ballads. Overloaded. Okay, so a specific sound then.
Very specific. Described as pure pop balladry. And the production was highlighted too, very clinically produced.
Clinically produced sounds a bit sterile.
Well, polished, certainly. Danny O'Donoghue's vocals were called delicious, so the performance quality was high. It sounds like an album aiming for that perfect, modern, heartfelt pop sound. Nothing left to chance.
Did it have standout tracks? Or was it all just ballads?
Oh, there were definitely standouts mentioned. The first one, Superheroes, got high praise, called a well-crafted slice of pop brilliance.
Okay, pop brilliance. What made it brilliant?
It apparently nailed that modern pop formula, verse, chorus, verse, but added an anthemic chant twist.
Ah, the whoa factor.
Kind of, yeah. That twist gives it that big, contemporary, arena-ready feel. It just works. Sounds very current. The review also mentioned flares, and without those songs, as being beautiful tracks.
So beautiful songs, great vocals, clinically perfect production, sounds like a strong contender, yet it came third, right? Eliminated. What went wrong?
The perfection might have been the problem, ironically.
Mm-hmm.
The main criticism was that feeling of being, well, drowning in balladry.
Too much of the same thing.
Exactly. Despite the quality of individual songs, the relentless similarity in tone and tempo just wore the reviewer down. The verdict was the album was badly in need of an oomph injection.
An oomph injection. Love that. It needed some energy, some variety.
Yeah, some dynamics. Without enough change in pace or texture, it all started to blend together, which led to the final kind of harsh critique.
Which was?
That it risked feeling like a boy band album.
Ouch. Meaning too safe, maybe. Too predictable.
I think so. Lost its unique identity in the pursuit of this polished, universally appealing ballad sound. Too much gloss, not enough grit.
So the lesson for the Script. Even with great songs and slick production, if the album as a whole feels monotonous, it can fall short in a critical quest like this.
That seems to be the takeaway, which leads us perfectly to the contrast, the Beach Boys.
Live at Knebworth from 1980.
Yep. Recorded live in England. The review called it a professional, fun concert recording. But the key thing here isn't the 1980 sound quality.
It's the songs themselves, right?
Absolutely. This album is all about the sheer, undeniable power of those classic Beach Boys tunes. The reviewer made a point. 50 years later, these melodies still get ensnared within your mind.
That's the test of time, isn't it?
It really is. And there's this fantastic personal anecdote from the author that just nails it.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
For 3 solid weeks after listening, these songs just wouldn't leave him alone.
No way.
Yeah. He describes humming California Girls while brushing his teeth, singing Barbara Ann while making tea at work,
Uh-huh. I can picture that.
and even singing Surfin' USA to his 5-year-old daughter. That's not just catchy, that's invasive in a good way.
That's deep-level earworm territory. It shows the fundamental strength of those melodies and hooks, much stronger, arguably, than even a perfectly produced modern ballad.
And that's precisely the point the review makes. The author acknowledges, yeah, okay, these live versions from 1980 probably aren't the best versions ever recorded. Structurally, sonically, they might have flaws compared to the studio perfection.
Sure, live recordings often do. Rough edges, maybe a bum note here or there.
Exactly. Things that would probably sink a modern pop album, like the scripts if they happened. But here, it didn't matter as much. The conclusion was clear. On material alone, this betters the script.
Wow. So the raw power of the songwriting just bulldozed the production concerns.
It seems so. It forces that question. What wins in an album quest? Timeless songs, even performed imperfectly live, or technically flawless but maybe less memorable modern pop?
And the answer here was clear. Songs win. Beach Boys take the second spot.
Yep. Material over production. The melody is king.
Okay, fascinating outcome. So that just leaves the album that came in dead last. Eliminated, the compilation.
70s disco, various artists. Compilations are always tricky beasts in these quests.
Why is that?
Because you're not judging one artist's vision anymore. You're judging the curation, the theme, how well the chosen tracks hang together. Does it deliver on its promise?
And this one promised. 70s disco. It was described as succinct, only 7 tracks.
Yeah, short and supposedly funky. The review sets the scene, OPEC, Pong, Star Wars, VCRs, the whole 70s context for this funk explosion.
And the tracks listed seemed like pure gold standard funk, right? Car Wash, Ladies' Night, Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah, absolute classics. Love Machine, The Hustle, I Love the Nightlife. You hear those titles, you know exactly the groove you're expecting. Deep funk, soul vibes.
It sounds like it should have worked, even if short. So what was the fatal flaw?
The fatal flaw was one specific track, a track that broke the promise.
Which one?
The very last track. Video killed the radio star.
Wait, what? The Bugles? That's not disco. That's early 80s synth pop. New wave.
Exactly. The reviewer acknowledges it's a killer pop tune, no doubt.
But it's not funky.
Yeah.
At all.
Not even close. The review says it's not funky in any way and felt slightly out of place next to the deep funk of Boogie Nights or Car Wash.
Slightly out of place. That's generous. It's like putting Kraftwerk on a blues compilation. Sonically, thematically, it's completely different. Synths versus horns, robotic versus groovy.
It's a total genre clash, a breach of contract with the listener. You're promised 70s funk, you're cruising along, and then bam, you're suddenly in 1980s pop territory. It jars you right out of the mood.
Okay, I see. That one track basically torpedoed the whole compilation's coherence.
It seems like it was the main reason. That inconsistency, that failure to stick to its own theme was a major problem.
Was that the only issue? Or was its shortness also a factor?
That is the other thing, yeah. The review also said it was just too short. It needed more songs to make it challenge the other albums here.
So even if Video Killed the Radio Star hadn't been there, 7 tracks might have been too few anyway.
Possibly. It was called a delightful little celebration of 70s disco funk, but ultimately just too slight and, crucially, too inconsistent to compete seriously. So 4th place it was.
Right. So Pink Floyd wins on Atmosphere from the Archives, Beach Boys win on Timeless Songs despite imperfect recording, and the disco comp fails on both length and sticking to its own theme.
Pretty much sums it up. A compilation has to be really well curated and deliver exactly what it promises to stand a chance against focused artist albums in this kind of quest. This one just didn't.
Okay, we have the final results then. Let's lock them in for Group 196, the 2 moving on, the 2 going home.
All right, let's recap the official Green Star Rocks ranking.
Coming in first place, advancing to round 2, the atmospheric, if not proper, The Endless River by Pink Floyd.
Correct. And in second place, also advancing, powered by sheer melodic genius, Live at Knebworth by the Beach Boys.
Which means eliminated in third place, despite the polish, No Sound Without Silence by the Script.
Yep. Too much balladry, not enough oomph.
And eliminated in fourth place, the fun but flawed and inconsistent compilation, 70s Disco, Various.
Gone but not forgotten. Well, maybe forgotten in the quest.